the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
How good is that?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Fitzy Wippa Kate Ritchie podcast. As Fitz would say, it's the Wednesday podcast. I always think, well, what happens if you listen to it on a Thursday? Completely throws your week off, doesn't it?
Really does.
Producers Jess and Maddie in the studio because where's everyone else, Matt?
They are slacking off. They've been at Sydney City Kia.
Very good. Very good. We've heard that credit enough times to know it's
Couple of
Sydney.
times.
And every time I hear Sydney City Kia, I've got to play that little sound effect. It
I
just
love it.
goes with it. The wonderful Emma, who beat Kate in I'm Still Standing back a couple of months ago, won the car.
Congratulations,
Very
Emma.
exciting. Husband James was there with her, and I think her 9-week-old baby.
9-week-old Charlotte.
Very exciting. And
What
they
a
were
time.
in desperate need of a car, so that's very exciting. I think you can actually check out one of the other pods and hear how that whole moment went down. But we are here to tell you that on the main pod today, Kate has an amazing story about what you should never talk about on a first date.
I've been on plenty of these. So
What's your go-to thing that you would never, ever bring up?
what's your favourite colour?
People don't ask that,
They
do
do. They do.
Don't.
I kid you not. The amount of times I've had conversations about your favourite colour, I don't understand.
It's like the equivalent of working in breakfast radio and someone asking, what time do you go to bed? People love that question, don't they?
Are you always tired?
Yeah, what time do you get up?
Do you get up early on weekends?
Do you know what? Could answer all of them. Maybe we should do that on the Producers Pod. That's coming out on Friday. Until then, enjoy the Wednesday potty.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Let's talk about this extremely awkward moment. And for those that have been there at the church on the very special day, it was only hours before this wedding was to take place, before a woman received a text message from her phone. It was from a mystery woman, but it said, I wouldn't marry him. And then included and to follow was a whole lot of screenshots of what another woman and him had been saying to each other.
Oh, this is.
I mean, you don't want that on your wedding day.
I don't think you want it any day.
You're dead right. Monday, Tuesday, through to Friday. It's not great.
You'd rather know before you go into the ceremony, though, wouldn't you? Than after. Once you've signed.
I think that's a given. I think you'd like a little bit of notice. Because weddings are very expensive.
Yeah, I did engage with you then, Fitz. I was sitting here thinking, I don't know, when do you want to know that? I'm not sure. The messages read, this weekend, you and I, it's on Hot Stuff. Bring your A game. Okay.
Who says hot stuff?
I don't know. Does anyone say hot stuff these
stuff,
days?
I think it's cute.
What do you mean?
Maybe the over 40 crowd.
What do you mean by A game? Are they playing Uno or something? I don't get it. It went on to say, your body is incredible. And my God, do you know how to use it? Now, when you have that sort of power in your hands, what do? You're a bride who's looking to frock up and get your hair and makeup done and walk down the aisle. You know what you do? Is you wait for the wedding to get underway and then you take a moment where you get up just as you've reached the end of the aisle while he's standing there and proceedings are about to take place. You ask for a microphone and you read out the messages.
Oh, not in front of everyone,
In front
mate.
of everybody.
Did she do them instead of the vows?
Yeah, so she went straight into, I'd like to say a couple of words before we get underway today.
Gosh.
You and I, it's on Hot Stuff. Your body is incredible.
It's a wonderland.
If she'd completed the song by John Mayer, Kate Ritchie. What about I miss you so much I can't stop thinking about you? Kiss, kiss, bang, bang.
What?
Great
Is
movie.
that an emoji bang bang?
The actual
It's
words. Actual bang, bang.
When do you think when she was reading the texts
Yeah.
that the moment of realisation from him came? I know these words. In fact, I've typed them.
He would have known Kiss, Kiss, Bang, Bang was sort of like his signature one.
Sign
I reckon.
off.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Famous for him.
For me personally, wedding ceremonies can be so boring. So when you get entertainment like this, it is jackpot if you're there. Sorry, Kate. I mean, if it was your wedding, I understand. I feel really sorry for you, but it's great to watch what was going on at the time.
I'm going to jump in here and say that, I sometimes get the lines blurred between me and my other life.
Yes.
But it actually has happened to me.
Kiss, kiss, bang, bang.
Sally?
Yes.
What, at the aisle?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know if anyone here in the room at Sydney Kia
What happened?
would remember, but it's a very famous, like a home and away highlight.
Yeah. Who were you
where
marrying?
I was marrying...
Alf Stewart?
No.
Gotta
Kieran Fletcher, who had the same surname as I did. We got booked into the same hotel room on a trip to Ireland, so that's how we met and fell in love.
Marrying a cousin?
Yeah, no, it wasn't my cousin. Well, Summer Bay is very small.
Yeah.
And he had eyes for other ladies in the town.
Kieran Felcher.
Really?
No,
Fletcher.
Gypsy.
Kiss, kiss, bang, bang.
And just as we were doing the vows, Gypsy, played by Kimberly Cooper, she stood up in a scarlet red dress, very clever by the wardrobe department.
Yeah.
Saucy.
And she said, no.
Objection.
Then she said something like,
was she
cannot marry him, Sally. Oh, blah, blah,
I've been seeing him.
Yeah.
She lived up to her name, Gypsy. She was an absolute gypsy. She was hooking up with Kieran Felcher.
Well, she came round because I don't think Sally and Gypsy were friends for a while.
Right.
Because, anyway, that's another...
She yelled
we could
out.
talk about this forever.
You and I, it's on, hot stuff.
Yeah.
And started reading the messages.
And he looked at her and he said, kiss, kiss, bang, bang, and then I knew it was all over.
It was all over. You didn't know if it was real life or not.
What a weird day.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Kate Ritchie, tell me about the one thing you should never, ever say on a first date.
Well, I was going to start out with one thing that you shouldn't say on the first date, but I've got quite a bit of a list here. I don't know what there is left to talk about if you can't talk about all of these things.
Where did you get the ankle bracelet? That's probably one that you don't really want to ask.
Did you go out with my sister? I happen to recognise you.
I went out on a date once and tried to convince the girl that I was a shark fisherman. I thought that sounded exciting and dangerous. But in my spare time, I was doing that. Most of the time, I was working for a charity. So big-hearted yet dangerous and exciting.
I don't think so. I think that
It's a pretty quiet night. She left.
Someone sits there and thinks, oh, they are really poor.
Yeah.
Because
do
he fishes and he's a volunteer.
He stinks and has no money.
Yes.
Okay.
And
No wonder she
he's
left.
just watched the movie Jaws and he thinks he's the guy out of Jaws.
Were you wearing a shark tooth necklace at the time?
Yeah, I did have one of those.
Yeah. Okay, here's a bit of a list. I've been doing some research. Haven't been on a date for a while.
Oh, come on.
I haven't. I don't think I've ever been on a date.
Oh, give me a break,
come on,
Kate
mate.
Ritchie. Tom,
Maybe one date someone picked me up and took me to the what are those places called?
Drive-in?
No, where you
Restaurant?
go and eat heaps of meat, like the churros.
Yes, it's the Brazilian restaurant.
Tom's Bunker?
Churras.
something like that.
They're great.
I love meat.
that's
Just don't
what-
get me wrong, but I don't want to.
Out of context.
I don't want to eat it on the first date.
No, you don't. You don't want to go and stuff yourself with a whole lot of spicy meat.
No.
On the first date. Do you?
I don't know. I don't
Depends
know.
on the- depends on
if
the
it's
night.
midweek.
You're blushing, Miss Ritchie.
I know, it's hot in here. It's
Isn't
all the
it?
Yeah,
excitement
it
of
is.
giving
It's-
away
it's
the
brand new.
car.
My God.
Okay, here we go. Do not talk about the dreaded ex. So when you sit down and you're getting to know somebody, you don't want to talk about the messy divorce. Although on the flip side, it does indicate if you've both been through other relationships before and you're trying to find new love, it could indicate that you're mature enough to
I
move on.
agree. You got to share your stories. It's life.
And I think it's a very good indication when you hear somebody talk about their ex, it can give you a
Agreed.
good insight into how they've dealt with issues in the past.
And how much they still love them.
How much they still love them or how much they've just blamed the other person.
Yeah.
I agree.
Don't treat it like a job interview, so don't ask too many questions.
What are your weaknesses?
Yeah, exactly. What do you hope to get out of this? Don't get drunk. Having a drink or two before even going on a date is common because people get a bit of that Dutch courage.
Yeah.
But best not to.
There was a girl that used to work here at Nova, Amy, and Amy was on the dating apps. She was a pretty loose unit, but she was.
I think you're allowed to call somebody that.
We bumped into her in Darwin.
I know who you're talking about.
She would say, "What was your worst Tinder date experience?" And I think that was a great icebreaker, and also, like talking about an ex, a great indicator of the type of person you were sitting across from.
You don't want to have
She's had some horrendous stories.
Yeah, but you don't want to be talking about how much you've been picking up on Tinder, do you?
I guess you're going to do. You might say something like, for example, if I was role playing.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
You're the actor here. Okay, quiet on set, everyone. There's a plane going across.
Okay.
Just wait for that.
Here we go.
Okay, and action.
So I'm guessing Tinder hasn't worked very well for you if you've ended up here with me this evening. What is it that you think you're looking for that you haven't been able to find yet?
Not you.
Can I get the bill, please? We're out of here.
I think I'm quite good. And politics and religion, of course.
Oh, okay. Leave that out.
Bring up Trump.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
I want to talk about where the ashes are.
I think
England?
Australia's got them at the moment. We knocked England off last time.
No, that's not what I mean. This has nothing to do with cricket. This has to do with a woman who is going to fulfil her father's dying wish.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard of this before. She has revealed that her father was a bit of a...
What's the word?
she calls him a badass.
A badass.
Oh, okay. So what, like a bit of a biker, like to hang out with the lads?
A bit of a rebel. And the daughter, Rosanna, she says that she is following in his footsteps. In fact, they called him Papa Pizza. I don't know why. I guess he liked pizza, or maybe he ran a pizza shop,
meat lovers.
which was a front for something else. I would
never know.
imagine if he was that naughty. Yeah. He had a long battle with leukemia, and his dying wish was that when he died, he would be cremated. Rosanna and her mother would put the ashes in a pot plant. They would grow a plant of the weed variety.
Oh, okay.
And everyone would...
And then eventually, when that kind of came to be picked
Inhaled,
or whatever, I
yeah.
don't know.
I don't know how it works.
They would roll Dad up and they would honour him by smoking Dad.
Oh, my gosh. Puff, puff, past Tuesdays.
That's... I don't mind it because
do,
you know
I
what?
do.
You're sort of putting Dad back into the earth.
Well, you're putting him
Into
into
the
the
air.
earth and then you're putting him into your lungs.
I know. It's you get Dad is distributed everywhere.
Yeah.
I like that.
Have a look what Dad did to me last night. I couldn't stop eating.
And I think it seems as though it's a fitting tribute to this particular family. It may have been. And let's be very clear, this is not a story coming out of Australia. This is in California. So I think that all of this is relatively above board.
Well, can't you put your you can put your relatives into kitchen appliances?
I think you can.
So as they're making, a NutriBullet, I might put a bit of Dad's ashes in the NutriBullet, and every time we have a smoothie, we think of Dad.
What do you mean into the NutriBullet? Not in the smoothie.
As they're making the appliance, they can pour a bit of the ashes into the plastic or whatever they use for it, and that you can then present it to someone.
My grandfather.
Here you go, Arnie Jenner. This is your father.
Oh.
In the NutriBullet, next time you have a smoothie, think of Dad.
My grandfather he had his dad just on sort of the mantelpiece in an urn, but it had like an open top urn, and people would come over, but they'd be having drinks and having a cigarette around the fire, and they'd actually ash on it. So he used to say that, you're not going to believe it, Dad's put on weight again, because...
Well, that was a very lame joke. Don't give us a call if you've got a story like that.
It's
not a joke.
What happened with the ashes? 13, 24, 10. I mean, did it go wrong when you scattered them?
Let's go to Emily in Rockdale. What did you do with your nan's ashes, Em?
Yeah, took him down the beach to the south coast. It was a beautiful sunset, all going to plan until the wind changed.
Oh no.
And where did the ashes end up?
In your face?
Yeah, basically blowing back into the faces.
Did you have a giggle or is it distressing?
Honestly, all you could do was laugh.
Yeah.
See, that happened with Hazel Fitzgerald, my grandmother, because Dad and Nan used to live on the top of a sand dune in Port Noarlunga.
What, just on the sand?
Yep. There was like a hut. They lived in a hut at the top of a sand dune. It was unbelievable. I'll show you a photo,
Slide
Kate.
down the dune? How can you... Sand isn't very...
Well, that's how she died. She slid down the dune. And then, so we went back up there to... spread the ashes, and poor Auntie Trish. I remember Auntie Trish. She was, and it was a windy day, and it was going everywhere. You could tell Nan was having a bit of a laugh with it because she's going, here I am. Whoop, whoop.
I'm over here.
In the
your
ashes.
eye.
Oh my God.
Peter in Liverpool. Where did you take your mum, Pete?
Yeah, g'day, mate. I took her off the back of a cruise ship, and it's another windy theme because we took her there, and the pastor was there, and the grandkids and the whole family were there, and it was very sombre, and and my sister threw her off the back, and she's just come straight back on the boat. She's gone all over the pastor. She's gone in the kids' eyes, their nose, their mouth. They're walking around like little zombies. Yeah. They're like zombies. Just, Nanny Barbie, I'm eating Nanny Barbie. Nanny Barbie's in my eyes. And then she actually drifted. She drifted onto the other passengers as well. So they're sitting there with their beers. And like, we were in a nice separate section, but the wind is strong on a cruise ship. So
she loved P&O, did she, Pete? She loved it.
She did 33 cruises, mate. My sister used to work for her. So that was her dying wish. Yeah.
Well, maybe it makes sense that she blew back onto the boat because that's where she preferred to be.
She wasn't ready to go. You're right, Kate. Yeah.
A bit of a twist that Nanny Barbie had been on the Barbie. You know what I mean?
What?
I can't believe you just said that.
What do you mean?
On the Barbie?
Or cremated, you know.
I can't believe that is the most thoughtless,
now that I get it.
Piggish, insensitive thing you've said.
Proud
and you
of
have
you.
said
Proud of you too, Kate.
so many things on this show.
Thanks for your support.
Hayley in Lane Cove, what happened to your nan's ashes?
So my nan actually died before I was born. She was put into a massive pot plant at my grandpa's house. When he was moving house, he tried to pick up the pot and it broke. I came outside a little bit later and my mum's hosing down the driveway and she goes, "Hey, Hayley, meet your grandma." So she's hosing Nan down the driveway.
I'm just washing her away
into the storm water. That's like that story that I heard where somebody put the ashes in the pot plant. It was on the front pergola or the patio. And somebody liked the look of the pot plant, came and stole it in the middle of the night. It was on the news and everything. Bring my husband back.
Would it be good fertiliser, wouldn't it? Would you think there'd be a bit of blood and bone in there?
Not really, no.
Of course there would be.
It's just ashes.
Could you do that?
Yeah, but that's what you do with roses. What about putting charcoal on your roses?
Yeah, that's fair.
That's charcoal. This is ash.
No, it doesn't matter.
It's all
Still the same.
Very minute form.
Could you grind up a family member and make your own blood and bone?
That's different again, mate. Thanks so much.
I've got one more, Tom. Do not wind me up. Katrina in Como, you had a family disaster with the ashes.
Yeah, we did. My great auntie Winnie, who died in 1983, really wanted to have her ashes scattered at the Thomas Bench statue on the corner of Bay Street in Brighton and the highway there, because that's where she met her husband. And so my family scattered the ashes there, and they're bringing the whole extended family back the next day to lay flowers there. And when they got there, the council were there and the water services, because there'd been a big burst water main, and they'd ripped up the statue and all of the ashes and everything was gone.
You just couldn't pick it, could you? Timing is everything, isn't it, Kat?
And the whole family got to witness it, Katrina, because they went back.
They did. And water was spraying everywhere. And, it was well and truly gone by then.
What a disaster. Kat, thank you for sharing. What a great story.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Talking about dating, right, and we have been a little bit this morning, but how good's this? There's some technology that's been revealed. It's really the AI version of understanding how well a connection is between two people, which I think is, I mean, don't get me wrong.
AI can't get involved with feelings, mate. AI doesn't have feelings.
Apparently it can.
See, it has a set of data. That's really all AI is. So if it understands how people react to other people, then it could give an accurate reading, couldn't it?
How much data have you gone off?
Data.
With relationships in the past? Have you gone on a date and then gone home and done the numbers, Kate, or...
Oh, you're asking me.
Yeah.
Oh, well, like I said to you earlier, I haven't really been on a date. And I just like things to unfold naturally.
So,
I mean, I think if you do too much research, you realise that everyone is a possible serial killer and you'd never leave the house.
That's so true. Have you ever been on one date, kissed the guy, and then because he was such a bad kisser, you never contacted him again?
Yeah, I did.
What was his name? Was it Steve?
It was Steve. Phil. No, it was Phil.
But how can AI, how can artificial intelligence have the data on your kissing ability?
Data. So what it does, it talks about, it analyses. So if you were to sit there and put the app on your phone, it'll analyse. You can use the video if you want extreme understanding.
What?
But just through the audio, the app is able to analyse the conversation, the connection. So it talks about how the conversation, if it hits a deeper point, it gives you points for connection. So it'll be able to then give you a reading at the end to suggest whether you really had something in common with that person.
Does it know if you've got butterflies in your stomach, though?
It would.
No, it doesn't.
I don't think it does. It just knows whether you like blondes.
No, it doesn't do that, Kate. You don't have to say it's a blonde. It doesn't matter what the person looks like, because apparently, subconsciously, you start to adapt to the other person if you're finding a rhythm or some level of sync with the other individual. So you're able to sit back and then have a look. Every time she goes to the bathroom, you just check how your numbers are going.
It's really kicking the fun out of love.
Tommy, I did put in there was a grab for two robots that went on the first date. And they were
did they fall in love?
Well, they were talking to each other. The conversation is so boring.
But that could be the state of the dating world out there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, how many dates have your friends been on? My friends don't go on dates either.
You.
And they just say, "Oh, he was so boring." It was so boring. We didn't have anything in common. We didn't have anything to talk about. And she worked that out with her own brain.
With her own brain, without an app.
Yeah.
And she was able to calculate within herself.
Within the first 10 seconds, nope, this is not, no, I'm out.
Could you see yourself going out with ChatGPT? Like
Me?
that could be that. Do you know what?
Is he rich?
You know what you could do, Kate? You could set up at home. I don't know, it could be an old teddy or something that you go to bed with or whatever. Set it up in, at your kitchen table. Then go to ChatGPT and go, this is what I would like to talk about tonight. So let's have a soup chat. ChatGPT.
I love that you bring it back to soup like I'm the most dull person in the world.
Well,
I mean, people go mad for a good soup.
Hey, ChatGPT, what sort of soup would you like to?
Well, guess what? Do you know what? I talk about
pepper?
soup on the show because that's the safest thing for me to talk about. My topics of conversation outside of the studio.
A bit risque, are you, mate?
No, I'm not saying they're risque, but they are highly. I'm funny and intelligent.
Okay.
And anyway, I don't have time to sit and talk to a teddy at night. I don't take a teddy to bed.
Oh my gosh.
I do like the idea of you putting on the app at a date and talking to the app instead of the person.
Yes.
And by the way, I'm funny and intelligent.
And then the app like getting really excited about soup. How good is minestrone, Kate? I love it so much. Do you have chunky vegetables in there, or do you like to cut them up?
Oh, he's lost the plot.
Do you know, there would be plenty of people listening right now who would, they'd love to win a Kia, but they would also love to win
a cater.
Dinner with me where I get to make them soup. You know what? The odds are amazing. Are we moving on?
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Can I give you guys a life hack? A travel hack, because we're only around the corner. Kate, you're going away for Christmas with May, aren't you?
I think I might be away.
Have you booked your seats? You know when you're booking flights now and you book your seats and it costs you money to pick your seat now?
Yeah. Oh, yes, it does.
Do you know, like it's even... going overseas the other day, I was looking at flights to go overseas. For me, I have to get the exit row.
Yeah.
Qantas, it's $200 to book the exit row seat, just to sit in that seat.
Is it worth it for you, though, when you're 6 foot? What are you? 4?
But then that's $200 on the way back, so it's $400 just to get a seat with a little bit of extra room.
Especially when your AirAsia flight to Bali has only cost you $159.
That's exactly right. So this guy, his name is Jordan. He has got a travel hack for everyone. Now, sometimes you get stuck with the middle seat. No one wants to sit in the middle seat.
No.
He's got a great life hack to get out of the middle seat for free. Have a listen.
Did you know with budget airlines, if you click random seat allocation, they will intentionally put you in the middle seat in the hopes that you pay money to get out of it?
I'm not going to pay $9 for a freaking window seat.
And the flight I'm about to check into still has a lot of middle seats available, so here is how I make sure I avoid them. Upon check-in, I saw there was still 10 middle seats available, so I go straight to the website and pretend to buy 10 more middle seats. Now, the website's going to ask for every passenger's name, so just slam a bunch of letters in there and continue on. Next up, go to seat selection and select all the middle seats or all the seats that you definitely do not want to be sitting in. Then click continue. So when you do this, the system is going to hold those seats for about 10 to 15 minutes, and that's when you book yours. So when you go to check in with your authentic ticket, you can see that there's no more middle seats. So click that random seat allocation button, dodge the rest of the scams on the website, and just like that, it only took me 2 minutes, and now I have a window seat. Woo!
Trick the system.
And he saved $9.
Yeah, do you know what? The fact that he said that took him 2 minutes, that would take me 2 hours to work out how to do that. I'm going to pay the $9 every day of the week.
Yeah, you are, aren't you?
There you go.
The Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Kate Ritchie's
Theme Queen.
Would you believe it, guys? Round 35 of Theme Queen, and this morning we are doing it live from Sydney City, Kia.
You've got a live audience for your intro here, so it better be good.
Kate,
Yes.
Can the audience play along today? Like, if you know the answer to the theme that's linking the songs, yell out.
Really?
Yeah,
Tommy.
yell out.
Tommy will pass you a mic.
Yeah, or call in if you're in the car.
Okay, let's complicate it even a little bit more this morning. Do you reckon?
Let's just throw it to the
Well,
wolves.
sometimes you guys don't get it. Sometimes they are very tricky, so we may have to go to the crowd.
Or fax your answers through to Nova.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we'll have someone on a bike and ride it down the road.
Okay, read out your intro that you've written.
I'm your host. The steering wheel of this team whippers the handbrake, if you know what I mean.
That's awesome.
That's really
Kate
good.
Ritchie.
All right.
The steering
Good. Everyone got the cue to clap. The game is very simple. We know how it works. 3 rounds. In each round, there are 3 songs, and each of the 3 songs are connected by a theme. Get involved. Are we ready?
Okay, here we go, guys.
First one's pretty easy, guys.
How do you know?
It just will
Usually
be.
is.
Round 1, song number 1.
Confessions. Usher?
Yep.
Yeah, it's Usher.
What a
Okay.
classic.
Okay.
Not my
what it
most.
Keep going.
Song number 2.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
Also a great track
By the Police.
by the Police. So who have we got to start with?
Usher?
Usher and the Police. Okay. Round number 1, song number 3.
Who's that by Kate Ritchie?
That's Karen
beautiful.
Carpenter.
Yeah, it's the Carpenter.
Yeah, do you want me to answer it now? Because I had it at the first one.
It's not. Can I just have a guess first?
Yeah, mate.
Oh.
It's pretty clear.
Michael Usher has been arrested for punching out a carpenter. No.
Oh, no, you know.
Yes, I got it.
You didn't. No, you don't have to make up like a plot
No,
line.
Oh,
no.
sorry.
It's just what connects the 3 songs. And the theme, Michael Whiffley, is...
They're all occupations.
There we go. I'm just going to say, because we're sitting on the couch down here and we're closer than usual, did you see the answer for round
have
number
not.
1 sitting on the face-up page that was on the, on the table?
I'm not interested in cheating. When I have the gift, I don't need the answers.
As if he's not going to have it.
Oh, mate, I'm not interested.
All right, moving right along. Round number 2, song number 1.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Leonard Cohen again?
Yeah.
Yep.
We played this last
Yeah,
week.
we did. Hallelujah.
Make my way through
Let's hope it's not the same answer.
the archives.
Okay.
Uh-oh, now I'm nervous.
Not religion, is it?
No, just stay
Because that
out
was
of
last
it.
week.
Just round number 2, song number 2.
Annie Lennox?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the name of the song?
What do you think?
Tell me why.
Tell me why.
Very good.
Okay.
This one's falling flat. Song number 3. Come on. Have a think, guys.
Anybody in the crowd know the theme here? Help us out. Tommy,
What
can you pass it over?
connects all 3 songs?
What's your name?
Michelle.
Hi,
Michelle.
Michelle.
Are they one-word songs? Single word?
Are you saying something like the chorus is the same word repeated?
Yes.
Yes!
Michelle.
Michelle in the second row. Thank you very much.
So the chorus is a word repeated, yeah?
Yeah.
Woo! Looks like the factory knocked off this week.
Do you know what I don't like about this game is I have to play all of the games that the fellas come up with and games that I've inherited when I joined this show.
Congratulations.
And congratulations to you. And finally, I get a game that I can drive. And no, there's a feeling of non-support here, isn't there? Yeah.
Look at the guy. Look at the guy from
is
Sydney
nodding.
City Kia down the back. He's so confused. He's got no idea what's going on.
He's asleep.
He's nearly quit his job.
All right,
He sold 4 cars this morning, but he's still confused what's going on over there.
Round number 3, song number 1.
Dust yourself up and try again. Who is this?
Not Brandy.
Yep, keep going.
Did she pass away?
Yes.
Yeah.
Brandy?
States with Alia.
Ashanti.
Ashanti.
No.
Ashanti.
A liar.
A liar.
Yes, you
Or
are.
a Leah. Let's go with a Leah, I reckon.
Fat liar.
Song number 2.
Sia, great Australian artist. Does she have that song with anyone else?
No, it's just her.
Cheap Thrills.
Sia, yeah. Okay, and song number 3. Listen in.
Yeah.
I didn't even know who this one was, but I might have to give you a clue.
Who's the artist?
It's Pia Mia.
Pia Mia?
Yeah.
Elia, Sia, and
Aaliyah.
Sia, and Pia Mia.
All rhyme with. Where are we, guys?
Kia.
Oh my gosh!
Come on, a round of applause for Kate Ritchie and another great round of Theme Queen.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
How good was show and tell at school?
I loved it.
And especially if you broke your arm and you had it in a brace or something like that, or you the feeling of when you won a trophy or something, Kate, and you knew you could take it into show and tell that week at school. It was the best. Memorable show and tells, 13 24 10. Give us a call. I'd love to hear from you. A junior school in England, Orchard Junior School. The students were evacuated after a student brought in a historic explosive device to show and tell at school.
Love it.
A police spokesman said that the school was calmly evacuated and a disposal team attended to take away the item to be destroyed as a precaution. He got it from his dad's back shed, who had it for a while, who served in the military. But how's that? The kid was so excited that he was taking in the explosive device.
Yeah, and it would have been exciting. Dad would have taken him down to the back shed and said, look, son, look at this amazing thing. It's very special. Don't ever touch it.
You're not allowed to touch it without me, okay?
Yeah.
Hey, everyone, hi. I bought a bomb that Dad made in the back shed to class.
I told you about Huey. Huey's just served his detention.
What for?
Because there was a man in the local area who held up a petrol station, had a knife, ran through the school, so all the kids were actually locked in there. Everything was okay. He just ran through the school.
Yeah.
But Huey and his mates were at the window yelling out, "Sacrifice the Year 7s."
Oh.
So,
my God.
Which is funny when everything ends up okay.
yes.
But when it doesn't.
So some of the other examples they have in this story is that memorable show and tell stories. And if you've got one, 13 24 10. My dad is from a region in France where they make famous knives. So I thought bringing in 2 knives to show and tell would be great for the other students. Didn't cross my mind that it could be a problem, but they called my parents, who weren't that mad at me because Dad loved his knives. The teacher across the hall from me had a student who brought what he thought was a lucky rabbit foot to show the class. Unfortunately, the rabbit foot was a sanitary item.
Oh, little mouse.
Oh.
Lamb's tails.
Cute,
That's anyone who's been on a farm before would know that sometimes they put rubber bands around the lamb's tail.
Yeah, I've done that at ag school.
And then the tail falls off.
That's right.
So lamb's tails are always a big one at show and tell, which freaks out a few kids.
Love that.
This is my favourite. I asked my students to bring in an object that they loved, and one kid brought in his grandmother.
Oh, that's a bit cute. Do you think that was his idea, or do you think it was Mum's or Nan's?
Probably Nan. Wouldn't
Okay,
leave
I've
him
got a
alone.
really fun idea. I'm coming to school.
Do
with
you know the worst thing about it? How do you follow up from that? Like if you're next in show and tell and they've brought in your grandmother.
And you've got a rock or a shell from the
You've got a
garden.
magnifying glass and an ant that you found outside.
Can we take one here? Clancy, hello. Clancy. Oh, Clanny.
Oh,
Kalani, yeah.
no.
Oh, Kalani.
Oh, my gosh.
Hi, Kalani.
Hi, Clancy.
Hi.
What's your name?
Kalani.
Kalani. All right, so it's
I'm
definitely
not
not Clanny because I've never heard of the name Clanny before.
Kalani? Okay. What did you have at show and tell?
When I was little, my sisters used to bring me in for show and tell all the time.
Oh, that's
I was
you.
the show and tell.
Oh, that is awesome.
That's
and then,
very cute. Did you have to perform?
Yeah,
or?
how did they present you?
Just put me in the middle and I just surprised everyone. Entertaining class.
That is pretty
I love
cute.
that. Thanks, Clancy.
Thanks, Clanny. That was awesome.
Genevieve, can we go to Genevieve?
Oh, my God.
Oh, Genevieve, is it? Hi, Genevieve. What about show and tell? What happened?
When I was in kindergarten, I brought in 3 redback spiders in a jar.
Oh, did you let them out?
No, but my dad put them in a jar and said this would be really cool to take. And so I took them on the bus, and they took them off me when they saw what I had in my bag.
You could probably kill a few students, yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't be
Becomes
good.
an issue.
That is great. All right, Gabby in Campbelltown, what did someone in your class bring in?
I remember when I was in primary school, a little boy brought in his appendix after his surgery.
Oh, just in a little jar?
Yeah.
I didn't know you could do a takeaway when you get your appendix out.
I didn't think appendix. I mean, I know I've heard of other things.
Stones you could bring in. Yeah, what else could you bring in?
Gallstones.
Well, yeah, gallstones you could bring in.
Some people, I mean,
What
some
is it?
mums keep the thing that comes out of the belly.
Oh, umbilical
the umbilical cord.
Yeah.
Some people.
No.
Yeah. I think I have that in May's baby book.
Well, you know what? Do you know what else you can keep? You can keep the.
Yep. Yep.
When you
What?
when you get lopped off a little bit of skin when you're younger,
right.
you can keep that.
Okay.
It sort of dries up.
All right.
And you keep. Where do you keep
my
it? though?
advice: medium well.
And then just wear it as a ring.
Julie in the ponds.
I
Now,
don't get it.
Julie, you're a teacher, so you've seen some doozies over the years. Jules, what have you got for us?
I have been teaching a long time. One time when I was teaching kindergarten, the students were asked to bring in something that was special to them. So a little girl got up to present to the class, and she was holding a battery-operated toy that she'd found in Mum's bedside drawer that was special.
Oh, was it a torch, was it?
Yeah, something like that.
You know, always a good place to keep one in the bedside drawer, just in case in the middle of the night you need to get up and you don't want to wake the whole house by turning the lights on.
Julie, did you let her go through with
Have
the
you
present?
made this up, Julie? I don't believe this.
No, it's true.
Julie, what was the presentation? Like, so she was just saying, yeah, this is a torch, Mum uses it in the dark, or did you let her go through with it, or did you wind her up pretty early?
Kind of, yeah, stopped her sort of when I, quickly realised what she was holding and saw the looks on all the other students' faces like, what is this?
Do you know what would be a great job is making the call to Mum, just to be particular about show and tell and make sure that families are across the items that the kids are bringing.
I know. Well, because you have to ask the parent to come down to the school and collect it.
Yeah,
you
well,
can't
that's the
send that
thing.
home in the bag.
I know.
So Mum has to sign into the front office.
Oh, my God.
And collect it.
Glad it wasn't you, Tommy. It'd be a whole briefcase of things.
Oh, it is not. Well, Tom loves torches.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Well done to Gabby and Julie. You are in the running. You are in the running for Taylor Swift. It's
So
her last.
childish.
It's so basic, isn't it,
It's
Kate?
so
Incredibly
basic.
Like
and
you
it
can't-
doesn't get any less
No.
basic, even
Yeah.
when we have an audience here.
And
What'd
even
you
if
know?
it's true.
Fitzy Wippa with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great shows like this, download the Nova Player via the App Store or Google Play.
The Nova Player.